Angel Reese back in action, folks.
Angel Reese is in the spotlight once again. And as usual, it's nothing related to what she's done on the court. This time, she's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Instead of honing her game during the offseason, Reese has been spending her time clapping back at fans on social media.
Angel Reese, she's currently dealing with a circus online. Now, Angel Reese went out of her way to respond to a fan late last night on X, and I'm here to tell you she went off.
While other WNBA players are in the gym preparing for the upcoming season, Reese seems more focused on podcast appearances and airing frustrations about her salary. And when she finally does hit the practice floor, her training choices have only fueled more criticism. Fans are growing impatient. From social media spats to questionable priorities, Angel Reese is facing mounting backlash. Is she losing focus on the court at the worst possible time? In this video, we break down the controversies, the numbers, and what this means for her future in the WNBA.
Somebody came out on Twitter, talked a little bit to Angel Reese, and Angel Reese fires back, snap back, clap back, heart attack, comes after the fan, responds. The response is just hysterical.
Angel Reese isn't just bricking layups. She's bricking public relations too. This offseason, her social media activity has taken center stage, and not in a good way. While most players use this time to focus on improving their game or building goodwill, Reese has found herself in the middle of a firestorm, and much of it is self-inflicted. One exchange in particular grabbed everyone's attention. A fan criticized her poor shooting stats, pointing out her struggles with making layups. Instead of responding constructively or staying silent, Reese lashed out with a dismissive retort, "You're just laid up with your dog at home hating?" The backlash was swift, with fans mocking her inability to handle valid criticism. Social media lit up with comments like, "Teach her how to make a layup, please," calling attention to her inefficiencies as much as her online behavior.
Shooting 39% on the year as a power forward, as a four, as somebody who shoots within 5 feet of the basket on, let's say, 90% of your field goal attempts, that's not too good.
But Reese didn't stop there. On her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, she went on to address backlash from Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans, saying,
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful.
This attempt to explain herself only backfired, further alienating Fever fans and reigniting debates about her priorities. Reese's behavior has made her a lightning rod for criticism, with fans questioning whether she's more focused on clapping back than improving her game. But beyond the drama lies a more troubling reality. The numbers don't lie. Reese's performance on the court has raised just as many questions as her actions off it, and that's where we're heading next. Angel Reese's offseason has raised eyebrows, but the most damning evidence against her isn't in her tweets. It's in her numbers. For someone expected to dominate in the paint as a 6'3" power forward, Reese's stats tell a story of inefficiency that's hard to ignore.
39% taking a majority of layups. Angel, whether you're a rookie, whether you're a veteran, whether you're a high school player, whether you're a kindergartner, 39% on layups and putbacks isn't that great.
Let's start with her shooting. Last season, Reese shot just 39.1% from the field, well below league standards. Even worse, her accuracy within 5 feet of the basket was a dismal 44.5%. One of the worst in WNBA history for her volume of attempts. For context, the league average for close-range shots is about 60%. For a player who spends most of her time under the basket, this kind of inefficiency is unacceptable, especially for a team relying on her to finish plays. Then there's rebounding, an area where Reese's numbers appear strong, but not without an asterisk. While she led her team in offensive rebounds, a significant portion of those came from her own missed shots. It's a frustrating cycle. Miss, rebound, repeat. Fans and critics alike have dubbed this stat padding, as her rebounding numbers fail to translate into actual scoring opportunities for her team.
And you can't say they're not stat padding, because the game against the Fever, all the starters were out and Angel Reese was still in, and so she could get her double-double, right? And then there was a game, I forget who they were playing, but they were losing by 20 again. And they pulled all the starters but Angel Reese. As soon as she gets the double-double, they pull her out the game. That's stat padding. And if you deny that, then you're just delusional.
To make matters worse, Reese's inefficiencies stand in stark contrast to peers like Caitlin Clark. Clark, who spends more time on the perimeter, managed an impressive 62% shooting accuracy within 5 feet as a guard, while also leading the league in three-pointers made and assists. Her numbers reflect growth and efficiency, while Reese's highlight areas that desperately need improvement.
I mean, I know that you're Angel Reese. I know that you're the second biggest WNBA player. I know you're the second biggest name in the league. I know there's Caitlin Clark, and then Caitlin Clark, and then Caitlin Clark, and then you. I am aware of all of that.
But it's not just about individual stats. Reese's struggles have broader implications for her role on the Chicago Sky. The team needs cornerstone players who convert opportunities, not just rack up attempts. These numbers don't exist in a vacuum. Fans and analysts have linked her statistical shortcomings to her off-season behavior. When poor shooting and questionable decision-making meet social media rants and practice videos that miss the mark, patience quickly wears thin. If Reese doesn't address these inefficiencies, she could be in for a long, frustrating season. But wait, she just released a practice video, the moment meant to silence critics. Instead, it became another point of contention. We'll break it down next. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
The lack of, well, proof that she's been in the gym working on her craft, trying to hone her skills after what can only be described as one of the worst shooting seasons anybody's ever seen in the history of basketball.
Angel Reese's practice video was meant to be a comeback statement, a chance to show critics she was serious about improving her game. Instead, it became yet another point of contention, raising even more questions about her priorities. In the video, Reese can be seen focusing on three-point shots and mid-range jumpers, which left fans scratching their heads. For a 6'3" power forward, whose role revolves around dominating under the basket, practicing outside shooting seemed like an odd choice. Fans quickly took to social media to express their confusion and frustration. One tweeted, "She can't even make layups consistently, but she's out here trying to play like Caitlin Clark."
When she was literally the most inefficient player within 5 foot in all of the WNBA. Any which way you put it, she shot bad from the field. All right, she's 6'3" and she plays under the basket, and she shot 39.1% from the field.
The backlash wasn't just about what Reese was practicing. It was about what she wasn't. Critics pointed out that her training failed to address her glaring inefficiencies near the rim, where she ranked among the worst in the league for her position. Analysts questioned whether Reese truly understood her strengths and weaknesses as a player. "She needs to refine her inside game and work on her finishing under pressure," one fan commented. Instead, she's practicing skills that don't align with her role. This isn't the first time Reese's off-season decisions have puzzled fans. While players like Caitlin Clark are posting videos of intense, role-specific drills, Reese's video felt more like a branding opportunity than serious training. The disconnect between her practice focus and her on-court needs only added fuel to the fire of her critics.
Imagine if your first-round draft pick had the season she had, the controversy she had, got injured in a questionable injury, asked out, and then started a podcast gossiping about everything in the league as a rookie. Please.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's head down.
Ready to
don't,
go.
Don't,
Yeah.
you don't hear a peep from her. She cares about on the. So you got me wound up.
To make matters worse, the practice video came on the heels of Reese's offseason filled with social media spats and red carpet appearances, making it harder for fans to take her seriously. Many questioned whether the video was an attempt to quiet her detractors or just another bid for attention. Either way, it backfired spectacularly, with many drawing comparisons to infamous practice clips of NBA players like Ben Simmons, where flashy training didn't translate to in-game results.
Ben Simmons caught an amazing amount of stray bullets. An amazing amount. I guess Ben Simmons is known to release one of these propaganda kind of videos every year now.
Reese's training video wasn't just a missed opportunity. It was a reminder of her ongoing struggle to align her priorities with what her team and fans need from her. And the fallout from the video didn't stop with fans. Even basketball legends weighed in. making it clear that Reese's off-season choices were under scrutiny from every angle.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
He might cover that. Yeah,
It
definitely covers that.
What is my? I don't even know my salary. No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
When legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Sue Bird weigh in on your offseason, it's clear the scrutiny isn't just coming from fans. Angel Reese's choices during the WNBA offseason have caught the attention of some of basketball's most respected voices, and their critiques are hitting hard.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
Shaquille O'Neal, a former LSU star and longtime supporter of Reese, shocked many with his blunt remarks. While speaking about her performance, Shaq compared her to a role player, rather than the star she's been touted to become. For someone as vocal in his support as Shaq, this critique wasn't just surprising, it was a wake-up call.
Shaq just called her a role player, not a star, certainly not a superstar, not a legend. Hey, you remind me of Antoine Jameson. Oh, nice player. Put up 20,000 points. No one's really heard of him. I think Antoine played at North Carolina. Anyway, Shaq slams Angel Reese to her face.
Sue Bird, a four-time WNBA champion and one of the most respected voices in basketball, echoed this sentiment with a quieter but equally cutting observation. In a recent interview, Bird emphasized the importance of keeping basketball the main thing, a principle that defined her legendary career.
But now they're in that world. And so my only advice is usually just to make sure they keep basketball the main thing, because at the end of the day, that is your vehicle. It's your vehicle to, Angel Reese has a podcast. It's her vehicle to be a podcaster, right? Whatever Caitlin ends up doing, it's the vehicle to get you to that point. So you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall off.
The message was clear. Flashy appearances and social media presence mean nothing if your performance on the court doesn't back it up. These voices underscore a deeper concern. Reese's offseason isn't just about misplaced priorities. It's about a player potentially squandering her opportunity to rise to the top. Legends like Shaq and Bird see the road she's heading down, and their critiques are a warning. The question now is whether Reese will listen.
It's a balance. You have to find that balance. But when you look at some of the other athletes, particularly men, who've set a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout.
While Angel Reese's offseason has raised questions, Caitlin Clark has been quietly setting the standard for what a focused WNBA player looks like. Clark's balance of on-court excellence and off-court activities has become a blueprint for young players aiming for longevity in the league.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Clark's training videos tell the story of an athlete who knows her role and is determined to master it. Her drills focus on long-range three-point shooting, mid-range floaters, and driving to the basket with her left hand, all skills that directly translate to her game. Off the court, Clark doesn't let the spotlight distract her from her goals. Whether it's participating in charity events, playing golf, or sharing moments with loved ones, she's managed to stay grounded while still maintaining her focus on basketball. This balance has made her not just a star, but a respected leader in the league. Fans and analysts alike have pointed out the stark contrast between Clark and Reese. While Reese seems caught up in controversies and inconsistent priorities, Clark embodies what it means to keep basketball the main thing. Her ability to seamlessly integrate brand building with skill development is a testament to her discipline and maturity. Clark's approach is more than just admirable, it's a roadmap. For Angel Reese, following this example could mean the difference between being a fleeting name in the WNBA and becoming a legend. The question now is whether Reese can set aside the distractions and commit to her game.
I feel like I just come out here and try to, play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful, and the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes with it.
Angel Reese stands at a crossroads. Her offseason has been marred by controversies, missed opportunities, and a growing perception that her priorities are out of sync with her potential. From clapping back at fans to posting training videos that raise more questions than answers, Reese has done little to silence her critics. But the path forward is clear: relentless focus, an understanding of one's role, and the discipline to refine the basics. Reese has the raw talent to rise above the noise, but Talent alone won't sustain her in a league that demands constant growth. The upcoming season will be pivotal. Reese has the opportunity to shift the narrative by committing to her game, embracing constructive criticism, and letting her performance do the talking. The WNBA is a league built on resilience, and fans love a comeback story. The question is, can Angel Reese become the player she's meant to be? Or will she remain overshadowed by the distractions of the offseason? Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain. Fans, analysts, and legends alike will be watching closely. The ball is in her court now. Let's see what she does with it. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.